Hey y'all, it is July 27th at about 6:45. Um, Yesterday I was driving and I was going for a bike ride. And usually when I'm driving to go for a ride, I listen, to music, get pumped up like you do. Um, and I couldn't find music that felt right at the moment. So I'm flipping through my iPod and I'm just like, no, that doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel right. Normally the songs that get me up and get me pumped, but I just couldn't peg anything. So I started going for stuff that I usually listen to when I'm a little sad. You know how music expresses your emotions. And I come across Bon Jovi, "It's My Life," and that one can be taken either as like a statement of, I don't know, solidarity or independence, or else it can be expressed kind of as anger against other people. And that one just fit. And I kind of realized that I've been really angry lately. And that's something very new to me because I'm not a very angry person. But I realized, like the past couple weeks, I've not been in a very good mindset at all. I just realized I'm a Nevada spokesmodel right now, but I have not been in a good mindset at all. And part of it is stress, definitely from school. Part of it is I had to give my dog back. I train him for guide dogs, so at about 14, 15 months, they get recalled for training, so I had to bring him back. And I realized that he was like the one person, the one constant in my life who went through this entire thing with me. So he deserved a medal because he was with me since last June. And yeah, so that was actually really hard giving him up, which I didn't think because he was a little turd most of the time I had him. But it was definitely hard giving him up. And then also, yeah, just tons and tons of stress. But I realized that what I was really angry about was I was really angry at myself because I just haven't felt like I've been taking very good steps towards transitioning lately. Like medically, things are just going, but socially, they almost seem a little stagnant. Like the people who know, but no one new has really found out. I haven't even really worked up the courage to tell new people. I have like a huge anxiety about coming out to anyone in any regard, and that makes me angry because I'm just like, why is it so difficult for me? I haven't really experienced too much negativity. I had one friend, but for the most part, it's all been good. And I don't know what the stress or the anxiety around coming out is, but it's just, I realized that, and that kind of makes me angry. And, I'm also angry that it just doesn't seem like things are really changing, as far as pronouns and with family and that. But most of the anger I realized was directed at myself, and that was just kind of funny that a song brought it on, that I realized I was angry, because I've felt very out of touch with my own emotions lately, as far as I have no idea what I'm feeling at a given time or why. So that was actually a very good realization, because then I put on more angry music, and then I felt better afterwards. I definitely rolled up my windows and I just belted it out. So that felt better. And for the first time in a really, really long time, I've been angry with my body. You'd think being transgender, I am constantly in feud with my body, but I'm not. My body is pretty darn amazing and it's done me well. But lately I've just been having a couple issues. Binder doesn't help. It constantly feels like ribs are breaking or something. Not quite to that effect, but it hurts. And then working out late, I did something a couple weeks ago, either to my neck or something like that. But every time I work out and I get an increase in blood pressure, it's like head's gonna explode. So I just haven't really been able to work out, and that's my main stress relief. So it's been very frustrating. But on a similar but somewhat different note, as I mentioned last time, I'm taking a psychology of gender class, and sitting in class, I realized just how different of an experience I have had from everyone else. On the first day, we were talking about what people thought in their daily life, like how much of what they experienced was gendered. And everyone's like, oh, like 60%, 70%. And I'm sitting here, I'm going like 95? I can't even pee without having to worry about gender. But, realizing that it's been just that different was a little difficult. But also, I started realizing that I was developing a little bit of a God complex in the sense that I thought that I was better than other people because I had had this dual experience. And so I'm sitting there going, oh, you don't know because I've had it in both genders. So, I can understand that way. And I had to I really had to check myself because I'm sitting here going, wait, these people, that's their experiences. This is my experience. You never really like reality checking yourself, but I had to. And I noticed I started becoming a little bit of an ass about it. Not necessarily in class, but we do some online discussion stuff. So that was kind of, never a fun reality check, but it was important. But, I'm not out in class, and I'm read entirely as male in all of my classes, which is nice, even though I have class with some people who've known me before. But, they just they don't mention anything, which is good. But, yeah. So getting that anger out and then realizing that, I was creating a God complex, and that also made me a little angry because I'm sitting here going, well, why can't you guys understand that it's more complicated or it's more difficult than you really realize? So I guess that was good. And since yesterday, when I figured that out, I felt a little better. I felt better today. Still having a little bit of a difficult time, just very, very lonely. But, I talked to a couple friends today, and I realized I had the best moment ever the other night. I was laying in bed, and I was thinking, oh man, I have 1 week off between my summer classes and when fall begins. And I'm like, that just sucks. There's hardly time to do anything. And then I thought, and then I was like, wait a minute. School doesn't start till 29th, and I'm done August 11th. I realized I had 2 weeks off. So it was like one of those jumping for joy moments in my bed. So very excited about that. I think I'm going to go and try and go visit one of my cousins and sit by his pool and not think for 3 days before the fall onslaught begins. So, yeah, that's update as of right now. I have been thinking of making a video. I don't really know what I really want to say, though, about sexuality, because I get a lot of people asking me, and I know I haven't touched on it at all, and purposefully, but, I think it's time to answer that query. Queer. So, yeah, possibly next time we'll talk about that. So, hope everyone's well, and talk to you soon. Bye.